took me off the case after what happened with Katie. But let's just say it was keeping up to speed by other means. Once the ranch massacre happened, my colleagues were more than happy to unofficially keep me informed.
Unofficial?
It seemed obvious to me that this was just the beginning, and I had Las Vegas down as one of the contenders for the next attack. Of course, the problem is that Las Vegas is one hell of a landmass to keep
I kind of wonder where that leap of logic comes from, where he thinks Las Vegas is next.
On a shuttle bus. A goddamn bus.
So you're saying the perpetrator was calm, even after what he'd just done?
I'm saying this guy was a fucking psycho.
Please, Mr. West.
Try to stay professional.
You're a funny guy. Either way, I still don't know how he evaded the entire police force descending down on him. It was like the devil was on his side.
Back to the menu. Oh, okay. If we're looking at the US map, I guess it makes more sense now, because that second mission was actually pretty far down the state from the first one. So he was actually covering quite a bit of ground even in the first couple missions. Untis, baby. So here's where we're learning about a new feature. Those jackasses. The bouncers. Basically, these are new NPC types that can knock you out and will beat you until you're busted. Sometimes you'll be able to get out of them. Very rarely, very rarely. I think it might even be a glitch that it happens at all. So you mostly avoid them, you stab them in the back, you set traps for them, that's how you deal with them. This is a pretty interesting level. It took me several tries to get through it. If you look in the top right corner there, you see a bouncer's fighting like 3 or 4 different thieves that are trying to rob the place. This is also the first time I actually noticed these suitcases, which have items I can use. I think at this point, I'm oblivious to those guys in the top right corner. See, we kill a police officer right there at the gumball machine. You're too drunk. I kind of like the conversations between the different characters and stuff like that. The waiters telling off some of the people at the party. So I've got a sword, and basically what that does is it lets me to cut multiple people at once. It's pretty much just a longer, better knife, as you would imagine a sword to be. Still can't kill police officers or anything like that with it. Hello, officer. You just do your thing. I'll just walk by suspiciously with a sword. I think at this point, I'm not sure if the sword is a one-time use item or not, so I'm just doing a regular stab. And as you can see, obviously that car was a good way of getting rid of the bouncer in the front, which increases your range of movement for the rest of the time you're killing people. You never want to be doing well and then forget that there's a bouncer and he knocks you out and you lose it, which would happen so much. It happens so much in this game if you're not careful. I found that this top left corner was a really good place to kill people, because usually only 1 or 2 people would wander in at a time, which means You can kill them before they even try to run to the phone. And it was easy to get away from the bodies if someone does discover them. And there's traps. And an escape hatch. It's actually, I can't imagine any other way they expect you to utilize that part of the map. As you can see, blowing up the speakers is a pretty effective method. Usually because blowing up one scares people over to the other one. Makes a nice combo if you trigger them off staggered. Don't be near explosions yourself though, or you'll die. And we can poison the punch bowl here in the pool. Or I could do a really bad thing and start stabbing everybody. Thankfully, the first cop doesn't like going around the pool table much. Or not the pool table, it's a gambling table based on the symbol, the lines on it. $24 out of 49. Halfway through. Here I'm using the alleyway a bit. There's plenty of places to hide bodies, just that people don't wander near it. So it's quite a walk to keep going that way. But it is a long stretch to try to stay away from a police officer until they give up. I'm too old for this shit. And that's how the first one goes. Now we're going to see a much better executed second one. And by better executed, I mean I just make things harder for myself and I still pull it off. But there is a certain efficiency to doing things in this one, I'd say. This run. You can kill those guys and actually get an achievement, and I do in a different run, but all it does is get you a higher score because it's more total dead bodies on the map. Now, in hindsight, looking at this, I should have triggered the fire first and then blew up the amps so that people running from the stage would burn to death. There's a police officer just running someone. No, they fell asleep. Nope. Never mind. They fell asleep and got ran over. So, this is what happens when you kill several police officers. This team of 2 members of the FBI will start chasing you. And they will stay the entire rest of the map. Rest of the time you're playing the level. And they will keep searching around, and they can chase you much faster than the police, and they don't give up. So they very much limit where you can go once they're out there. And when the police and them are out, ooh, it is tough. But here's the thing. I just bought something from the weapons salesman. Smoke grenades. Absolute best item in the game. Because you get multiple uses of them, and it pretty much lets you go on a killing spree with no consequences, so long as you're away from the smoke when it clears. Anybody that wanders in can't see you, and you can just stab the shit out of everything in that cloud. Or anything that gets the red symbol after going through the cloud, actually. Unfortunately, it doesn't affect enemy NPCs. No items affect them, just traps. That's the only way to deal with them. But as you can see, I can just go slicey dicey. Now we're down to the last few people. We gotta be very careful about getting to them without triggering the FBI guys to chase me down. Thankfully, we still have the poison punch there that can is taking care of a couple people. Good, the police are gonna take down one of them. I'll get to kill this yellow lady. Even with just 2 left, you can see it's a very stressful situation. Especially with that guy on the bottom. People not leaving me alone. One more person to go. And if you're like me, you're wondering, where are they? But she's right there next to the table. The green table. And bada boom. They can see you all they want. Once you've been the last person, you're free. Do